What are the things we give in AP trainings is first the participant introduction, then the webinar content for next 45 minutes. Then if you have any queries, we can discuss on that part for another 20 to 30 minutes. Then we'll show you the student's guide and APT offer. Then if you have any feedback and queries, we'll discuss on that in the final part. Okay. Can all the participants just introduce themselves in the chat? Please go ahead. Can everyone please introduce themselves in the chat? Yeah, hi Sandhya. Yeah, Rajkumar Vehru. Okay. May I know if you are a student or a working employee? Myself Yakub Rabhi. Hi Rabni. Yeah. I hope 20 participants are there. Only I have received 2 participants. Okay, looking for job. Roshan from Pune, doing internship in one data center. Okay, hi Shavan, happy new year. Working as a developer in Lovely Mobility. Hi Dishapal, good evening. Hope sure after this class you will get a good job, Shavan. All the best. Hi Prajat. Yeah, hope everyone are engineering students. Yeah. Soon you will get a placement. Looking career change opportunities in my, I am a faculty. Yeah. Yeah, hope. What about others? Hello Dipti, you're a BCA student. Yeah, okay. Yeah, most of them are students. Yeah, hello everyone. Myself is majority. I'm searching for a job for software testing. Sure, you will get a more better opportunity more than software testing. You have lots of opportunities in IT industries. Myself, Anil, working as a server engineer in SL technology. Hi, Anil. You want to grow your career. That's why you are here with Docker and Kubernetes class, I believe. Yeah. Everyone here to know about what is Docker and Kubernetes. It is a hot job over here, every IT industries. Yeah, wish you all happy new year. Ramar Nadar. Yeah, thank you, Namar. Hope what about others? Okay, let me give a small introduction about the trainer. Okay, trainer have a very good experience in Docker and Kubernetes. Here, our trainer Ram is here. Okay, he will give you a brief and good introduction about what is Docker and what is Kubernetes, how it will help you in your career, and after that the job opportunities, all those details he will explain you. Everyone would have known that it is a hard job in the IT industries for the DevOps. It is next part like a container orchestration. Okay. Everyone would have just known what is a container, what is container orchestration. Many would have lots of questions. Every questions you can ask him directly. If you have the questions in between, you can note it down and you can ask them later once the class session has been over. Okay. Hi Ram, you can just start the class.
Sure. Thank you so much. Can you please can you please mute because I'm getting some background noise. I'm not sure from who it is. Thank you. Very good evening. You just let me know. Can you hear my voice or not, so that I can just continue. Please let me know my voice is clear or not. Okay. Thank you, Sandhya. Okay. Very good evening and wishing very happy New Year because you have taken very good decision that you want to attend this session. Definitely this will change your life in the new year. Thank you. Let me share my screen. So thank you for quick introduction about all your introductions. So I can see most of the people are very interested to learn and they want to do some career change into the Dockers and Kubernetes. That's a very good decision. I'm just sharing my screen. Kindly let me know if you can see my screen. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to start this, and if you have any questions, I would request you to ask me at the end of the session. Definitely, you can ping me a questions, and definitely I can answer those questions. Thank you so much. Okay, let me start. So today we are just going to see some kind of a demo introduction about what is a Kubernetes, and see this is a CKA, Certified Kubernetes Administrator, and Dockers and containers. So there are a lot of opportunities for this Kubernetes in the current market. If you see, a lot of people are going to migrate, and they have a lot of opportunities because many clients are interested to go with the automation rather than this kind of deployments, Kubernetes deployment rather than normal deployments. So it's a very good opportunity for every one of us if you put a lot of effort in terms of Kubernetes. Okay, let me start. About my knowledge and experience, my name is Ram. I have a 12 plus years of experience. I have been with the Windows and AWS Azure, and I'm an Azure implementation specialist. I'm a migration. I have done in the migrations, Azure migrations. I'm a Kubernetes administrator. I have done certification in Azure, AWS, and Kubernetes. So I'm a trainer for Kubernetes in cloud migrations and Azure. I'm also a meetup speaker. You already covered this. I think it is not required. So this is the content which I just want to take it today session. So today's session is about 30 to 40 minutes. We will definitely have, definitely you will get some kind of a good information about the people who don't even aware of what is a Docker, what is a container, what is a Kubernetes, and why we use this, and a lot of things we will discuss today in the demo session. Okay, so before going to this thing, we just need to understand. See, definitely we need to. We will get more idea if you understand. If you get a full knowledge why we have to use the Kubernetes and what forces us to use this Kubernetes. That's the most important thing we should definitely understand here. Okay, let me record this. Okay, so we just need to understand how how, see, because what made us to force this thing, that's most important thing we should understand. So to understand very much clear, you should definitely understand how was earlier scenarios. Okay, so if you understand very clear, okay, if you understand very clear about how was earlier, that make you a lot of sense to understand very clear about Kubernetes. Okay, so that's why I'm coming from the very earlier days. So from there, if you come with the very earlier days, and if you come to the Kubernetes, that will give you a lot of understanding perspective. It will give a good knowledge as well. Okay, So when I see the traditional deployment, if you see the traditional, I'm talking about very, very early days in the traditional deployment. So we have multiple physical missions. So if you see, if I want to deploy an application in my environment, I need to have a multiple physical missions. I need to have a multiple physical mission to be deployed. So for any kind of testing or development testing, pre-prod and prod, we just need to have a lot of physical missions is required. So what actually issue is, it is a lot of cost, and it increase the deployment process. The SDLC, the software development lifecycle process, will be very slow. It will take years of time to do this. Okay, so where we get like, okay, so lot of space, and also it increase the space. A lot of space is required to keep these multiple hardwares. For example, if I use this hardware for one project, for example, if I get another project from the another client, so it is very difficult for me to use the same kind of physical machine to another project, because the configuration which I have taken for this project is maybe different for another project. So this is, it is very difficult for us to maintain, and cost perspective and deployment perspective, or in this, the deployment process is very, very slow. After a number of years, we have got a concept of virtualization. So the virtualization concept is talks about, when I say the virtualization concept is talks about, I hope you all heard that concept of VMware and Hyper-V, right? So when I say the virtualization, I don't need to have multiple physical mission is required. So I don't need to have multiple physical missions. Okay. So instead of multiple physical missions, I will keep one hardware. On top of the hardware, I can run multiple virtual missions. Okay, so I can run how many I want. That depends on the requirement. So here the only benefit which I see, I don't need to have multiple physical mission is nothing. So this is a multiple physical mission. Like this, we need to maintain many things. I don't need to maintain multiple physical missions in this deployment, my environment. I can have one single mission, one single physical hardware. On top of that, I can have multiple guest operating systems. So I can say I have my virtual machine 1, I have my virtual machine 2. It may be Windows, it may be Linux, or whatever the things which you require as per your project. Okay. So we have a concept of hypervisor. So what actually hypervisor will do is, this will help us to create multiple missions on top of one hardware. Okay, this gives a lot of benefits than compared to the olden structures, so traditional deployment. Okay, so when it comes to this next scenario, like when I say this next generation, so let me comes to the next screen. Okay, so when it comes to the comparison with virtualization deployment and container deployment, you just need to understand the drawbacks of virtualization deployment. What is a drawback? So the main drawback, if you see here, okay, so here you have one physical mission. On top of the physical mission, you have host OS. This is a host operating system. On the top of that, you have a hypervisor. This is the key software which will help us to deploy multiple virtual missions. Okay, but here, if you observe very clearly, you have a complete operating system is sitting on top of this each virtual mission. So I have a virtual mission 1, I have virtual mission 2. So each virtual mission have operating system, a complete operating system. So if you take an example of Azure or anything, so if you take an example of Azure, if I create a virtual machine, so the C drive will have 127 GB hard disk. Okay, so it consumes a lot of your resources. So why we have to spend a lot of resources unnecessarily? So there should be a something which will help us to reduce the size of this and help us to do uh, some kind of optimization. So because if you see the current trend, the people are going towards the optimizations rather than the traditional okay. So in order to do the optimization or improve the current environment, they brought the concept of containers. So what actually the container deployment here is, The same way I have a hardware, I have a one physical machine. The same way I have a host operating system. Here, instead of hypervisor, I have a hypervisor here. Instead of hypervisor, I have a container runtime. What actually it will do is, if you see here, you have a virtual machine 1 and virtual machine 2, right? So here, instead of virtual machine, I have a concept of container 1 and container 2 and container 3. So we have a multiple containers on top of this container runtime. What actually it will do is, it will help us to create multiple containers on top of one single physical machine or one single host OS. Okay. So here, if you observe, do you think there is an operating system here? There is no OS, complete OS concept here. I can save my example. If you see this 127 GB hard disk, I don't have complete operating system files here. What this will do is, this help us to the container one take the operating system files from the host operating system. The same way, container 2 will take the required operating system files from the host OS. The same way, how many I have containers, all the containers will utilize the operating system files in containers. So who will help us is container runtime. Here, if you see the hypervisor will help us to, instead of having multiple physical machine, I can have one physical machine. On top of that, I can have multiple virtual machines, right? The same way, if you see this, I have a single hardware on top of the host OS. I have a concept of container runtime. So using this container runtime, I can create multiple containers, and this container will do not contain complete operating system. So I will let you understand what is a container will have. In a high level, when you see this container will have application plus its dependencies. When I say the dependencies, what is required to run this application? That's a simple. Okay, so I don't need to have a complete operating system in this. So it will have a operating system files, but it do not contain a complete operating system. The same, like if you see this guest operating system, it will not contain a complete operating system. So based on that, the performance will be reduced, the size also reduced. This will help us to do some kind of I can say a lot of innovative deployments we can do. We can get so much flexibility in terms of deployments. So when I go to the next comparison, let me go with the, so I already just told you the advantages. I just mentioned the disadvantages, the resource allocation, or when I see the virtual machine isolation. So isolation is completely isolated in the sense, whatever is, see, the data is from this to this is isolated. It is completely different. It's not in the same. So less cost compared to legacy. So I told you, right, in legacy of systems, we need to maintain in legacy, we need to maintain multiple hardware. When it comes to the virtualization environment, we don't need to maintain multiple physical hardwares. So here I am having one single. So that's what I am telling, less cost compared to legacy. Okay, so this is very important thing because I think everyone of here understand and know this, because nowadays you definitely would have heard this monolithic and microservices, because most of the clients are preferring to go with microservices rather than monolithic. Monolithic is something, it's a olden method. Nowadays going, most of the people, 99% people are preferring to go with the microservices. When I say the microservices, what is a microservices is, in very simple understanding, I just want to tell you, if you open this Amazon application, so if you have an Amazon application in Amazon, if you see you have an Amazon portal, you have a login page, right? So you have a login session. So if you want to log in, you just need to do sign up and you do the login, sign in, right? I can say sign in, sign up, sign in. Everything is comes in one pot. This is one module. I can say one module. Next, when I log into the Amazon, there is a lot of products. Like I have a mobile, I have a groceries, or I have some other whatever the different articles. There will be lot many things is separated. So the product list is separated, the account logging is separated, the cart. So after you choose, for example, I'm choosing this one mobile. So I am going to add this mobile to my cart. Okay, my cart is one module. So I'm giving an order. So that is one. So in very simple means microservices is instead of having one single programming or one single uh, uh, container, I want to keep a separate programming for each module. So you will know, right? When programmer designs something, so it will be multiple modules. Okay, instead of having multiple, modules in a same programming, it's just segregating and isolating. I can say segregate, I can say isolate. It's not isolate, it's a segregate. I'm just segregating separately. Each one is separated. That is called microservices and monolithic. When I say the monolithic, all the modules written in a single program. If you understand clearly all the thing, if you see here, okay, I'm just clearing this. I'm talking about the monolithic. When I say monolithic, entire this module as one single program. When it comes to this microservices, what is a microservices? I am not doing this. So this is one program. This is my second program. This is my third, and this is my fourth. So I'm just spreading different. After that, I do the connectivity between these. So because what is the disadvantages is, if in the monolithic, if you want to do any kind of a changes or any kind of updates, that gives a lot of troubles, because the dependency will be there for each other. So if you have a, see, there are people have a code of, maybe there's a lot of people have a 20,000 lines. Okay, if you do change, in example I'm telling 150 line, if you do some code change, that will reflect in somewhere. For example, I'm telling 20,000 line. Okay, which is very difficult to find out what is happening inside this. So to eradicate these kind of things, what they brought, a new concept is microservices. Is this is the microservices, everything is separate. So these containers will follow a microservices, because microservices will help us to do the speed up the process, and it's easy to maintain. That's a lot of benefits you have when I compare with the monolithic and microservices. I hope you understand. So even if you see this diagram, it will tell you this is a complete programming. I have a module 1, module 2, module 3, module 4. Everything is single. This is called monolithic. When I say this micro 1, module 2, module 3, module 4. So everything is separated. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So when I say separated, that is called microservices, because you should definitely understand. So people, whenever people speak about in the containers or Kubernetes, they will keep on speak about uh, microservices and monolithic. So we just need to understand this basic terminology to, we should not get surprised, because what is this microservices? What is a monolithic? That's why I'm covering this. Okay. So, and also we should definitely understand the problems. When you say there's a problems, earlier days, what are the different problems we have? Okay. Okay, so what are the difficulties we are facing? So when I say this, any kind of a SDLC process or any kind of product designing, most of the people will follow some problem. This is a common problem. Everyone would have faced this. Okay, in everyone. So even if you are a tester or if you are a developer, you would have faced this some scenario. Somewhere you would have faced this kind of a scenario. Like example, think I'm a developer. I just done the coding and I've just run my system. I kept in my system and it is running fine. And what I have did is I just shared my program to my testing team, and tester will say that it is not running, and he will say that there is a mistake in the coding. Okay, but there is no mistake in the code, but there is some mismatch in terms of portability. I will let you know the next slide. What is a portability? Portability in the sense, okay, it's very simple. I have my laptop. I'm sitting in my home. I'm just, I have my configuration. Everything is correct in my laptop. But when it comes to the testing, tester is sitting in somewhere in Chennai, and he is just doing. He has his own laptop, and whatever the configuration he has, and whatever the configuration which I have, I hope you know the framework, right? Framework in the sense we just need to have a framework to run this application. We should maintain the same framework to run these applications, right? So if I run this framework, if I have a same framework in both environment, the portability will not get it. So for example, if the developer will having one framework and different, I mean, when I say this, one framework, another testing team will maintain different framework, and there is any changes in the updates or any kind of mismatch in the updates or framework, definitely, even though the coding is correct, there will be a mismatch in terms of the program execution. So program will not execute, and tester will think that there's a mistake. So we can overcome this by using this container concept. So I will tell you how it will be. Okay, so I will also definitely speak about next slide. It will be there about the portability. So meanwhile, I just want to give a clear and very basic information, because even I was just confused about what is a Dockers and what is a containers. Definitely it will give some kind of, this today's demo will definitely give a lot of good terminology, which gives you a lot of confidence and what is what. So definitely this is a very good foundation for you to make understand the Dockers, containers, and Kubernetes. Okay, containers and Dockers. So when I say containers, what is a containers? What is a Dockers? Docker is very simple terms. I'm telling you. Don't get confused. Docker is simple terms. I'm telling. It's a company. Okay, Docker is company. For example, if you see this VMware, VMware is a company who provide the concept of hypervisor, right? The same way, Hyper-V is one of the Microsoft product who provide the concept of Hyper-V. The same way, container is the concept provided by the Docker. Is a company who who brought this concept. Okay, that gives a lot of because if you see in the market, there are a lot many containers from the different companies. If you see here, I already mentioned example Docker container, Linux container. Linux is the company who provide the concept of, okay. See, Linux is the company who provide the container concept. Docker is a company who provide the container concept. Rocket is a company who provide the same way Meso. Okay. So if you see Docker Inc. is a company, it from somewhere San Francisco. Okay. In very simple term, you need to understand Docker it's a company. Okay. So understand this is a company, and container is, you have to understand the concept of container. Container is, if you see the first line, Docker container include the application and all its dependencies. So this is a very important. Okay, if you see the slide, for example, if you have your, think you have your container, this is your container. Okay, I have a container one. So what a container will have is, example, I have my application. So when I say the application, if you see, I was telling about this Amazon application, I have multiple modules, right? Take one module like login page. Okay, login page is a one of the sample code. Okay, one module code. My example, my login code is dependencies. When I say the dependencies, what is the dependencies? If I want to run this application, what is required to run is called dependencies. I need to make this application run in wherever it is. It may be my laptop, it may be your laptop, it may be any kind of dev or test or pre-prod or develop production or whatever the environment. I just need to run this application. So to run my application without, I don't need to worry about what kind of environment they have installed it in their laptop. I don't need to worry about that. I want to run this application. So as a one packet or one box, you think that is a one kind of a box. This box contain an application plus its dependencies. That's what it is telling. Okay. Include application and dependency. If you see this, application and dependencies to run this application. That is called a container. So very simple. I'm just repeating. Docker is a company who provide the concept of container concept. Okay. When I speak about the container will have application plus its dependency, because in interview they will definitely ask you some kind of very basic questions. What is a Docker? What is a container? Okay, because as a person we will think that they would have asked you a lot of things, because I also do some kind of when I do the interview, some kind of very basic questions I will ask them. When I ask them, they feel that some basic questions they would have they forget to, or they are not much prepared about the basic questions. So that's why I'm telling you should know these basic questions are very important to gives a lot of confidence to the interviewer. Okay, when I say Docker container, I'm just repeating application plus dependencies. So this is very clear idea to make you understand what is Docker container, what is a Docker, and what is a container. Okay, I'm just going to this next slide. And small comparison, okay, about example. I'm just taking a virtual box, virtual machine, and virtual and Docker. Okay, so if you see the size is very high. Okay, this is rat, and if you see this elephant, it will take so much of space, and space will be so much. Okay, this is space size is very high in the virtual machine, and when it comes to the Docker company, I mean container concept, this size is very less, and the speed up, if you see this go very speed and this go very slow. Okay, that's a main comparison which I just want to give this. So definitely you need to understand a good information about these are the very important base foundation thing we just need to understand. Okay, so in current market we have two kind of editions. Okay, one is a Docker community edition and Docker enterprise edition. Community edition is mainly used for some kind of a POC when I'm doing some kind of a small kind of environment. I can use this Docker community, and when I say this Docker edition, enterprise edition, that is mainly for production support or production kind of critical applications, I can say. So this is also one of the very basic question. So this Docker edition have two things. This is mainly two things: community edition and enterprise edition. So this gives for example, when I have a project, and in case that depends on the client requirement, if I'm doing this production and critical applications, I will have to choose this enterprise. So you have to do some kind of a testing, or if you want to do any kind of a development phase, testing phase, and I can use this community. Okay, edition. So that is very important. You just need to understand. Okay, so this is a very important slide in terms of container lifecycle. Okay, so when I say this Docker container lifecycle, in a high level, I just mentioned steps which not anyone can follow. This is a high level process which every company will follow. Example, it may be developer. Sometimes they will ask us to do this. It may be admin also. Sometimes we just need to write a Docker file. Okay, a Docker file is, I will tell you, Docker is a simple text file which has step-by-step lines, which gives, I have a next slide which gives a information about Docker file. Okay, but I will tell you what is a Docker file now. Docker file is a step-by-step commands which has to be executed based on the commands which we will mention in the text file. Okay, so whenever I have this Docker file, so okay, I have here. Okay, let me see this. Okay, if you see this Docker file, a text file that contains instructions for how to build a Docker image. So this is very important. Docker file, when it comes to this Docker file, you just need to understand that any kind of project or any kind of any project that will start with Docker file. So you just need to understand how to write a Docker file and how it has to be implement it. That's most important that you have to understand. Okay, let me. Okay, so Docker file, this is a first step. We just need to write this. Once we do this Docker build command, so what actually we need to do is, once you write this Docker file, you just need to build this Docker. So without building, you cannot create an image. There are certain things we just need to understand. One is a Docker file, another one is a Docker image, and how this Docker file will become a Docker image is, you just need to run the command Docker build that image, I mean that file name. So that will give you an image. Okay, if you see in the Windows, you have one image, right? You have one ISO image, right? From the ISO image, you can create multiple times, you can install it, right? The same way, by using this single image, I can create a multiple containers. I can create a container 1, I can create a container 2, I can create a container 3. So that depends on your requirement. You just need to create a multiple containers from single image. So you have to understand how this image comes from. The image comes from the Docker file. Okay, the image always can be come from the Docker file. The Docker file is as per the client requirement. You just need to write the Docker file, and this, once you are ready with the Docker file, you just need to execute. When I say this execute Docker build, when you do the Docker build, that became a Docker image. So once I done the Docker image, so I need to make this container. So container is different, image is different. When I say image, it is not an executable form. So when I say this image is just an you think that this is an ISO image, but you not use it. If you want to use it perfectly, you just need to make this container. If you want to use the image, you just need to click on Docker run. So when I say Docker run, that became a container. So if you see here, this is a container. So I was telling, right, container will have what actually container will have? An application plus its dependencies. So it will have an application and dependencies. So this Docker, so you just need to understand from the cycle. When I say development life cycle, from the starting to ending, you just need to understand very clearly. Initially, I have my Docker file. Okay, so it's a Docker file step by step instructions. I have a Docker file ready. Once I have a Docker file, I just need to build the Docker file. Once I build the Docker file, that comes to Docker image. So once I create the image, from the one single image, I can create multiple containers. I can have a container 1, I can have a container 2, I can have a container 3. Okay, this is what I just mentioned here, Docker run. So this is a Docker container. So once you create a Docker container, and if you want to safeguard, and if you want to keep in some other place where you can for security reasons, if you want to keep, for example, you have your organization, and if you want to keep your Docker images, and you want to save it, and whenever you want to reuse it, so there is a place called Docker Hub. This is the company, Docker company, providing the concept of Docker Hub. It's a simple, like it's a repository. Okay, if you see this, Azure has their own repository, Azure container registry, something. So the same way AWS has, and each cloud and each people, there are a lot of repositories are there. Okay, but this is a Docker company providing the concept of Docker Hub. Okay, so I hope you understand the very basic flow. First, we need to create a Docker file, because why I'm telling many times, this is very basic, and we need to understand this is very important. Initially, we have a Docker file. Once you build the Docker file, that becomes an image. Once you run that image, that became a container. So one more important thing is, the interview question they may ask you, can I create a multiple containers from the Docker single image? Yes, you can create a multiple containers from single Docker image. So if you want to keep your safeguard your images, you can keep it as a in Docker Hub. Docker Hub is a place where you can do the it's a kind of a repository. You are just safeguarding your images, because you created your company created images, and you have, because your company prepared this Docker files, right? So you don't want other company, your competitors should know this Docker file, or any coding should not be revealed, right? So if you keep it in your personal laptop, that is not the safe place. If you keep it in Docker Hub, that is a safe, and you have to make this a private, or we have again public and private. So you will not keep it as a public if you feel that this is so secure, and you will keep it as a private so that you will get all the safety. Okay. Think you have saved your image. I have it A. Okay. A is the image. I just saved it A image in the thing. And whenever you want, you can pull your images. When I say pull, you can just take it back, and in future. Okay. For example, in different environment, I'm doing it. And whenever I want to do this, I just need to pull this container, pull the image. Okay. I told you, right? In the Docker, I have a multiple images. I have image one, all the images. You will save it, whatever the image I want. I just need to pull it, and I can use it for whatever the purpose I'm just going to use it. So this is very, very, very important. That's why I told you many times. I'm repeating many times. That's why it's very important. Very, very basic flow: Docker file, Docker image, and Docker container, Docker hub. And whenever you want images, you can pull the images at any point of time. So that's a very basic level. I'm just telling you this because this is a high level flow. You just need to understand. This is what I already told you. Docker file and registry is some place, and very basic level terminology I just mentioned. Okay. I will share this PPT to you. You can refer this. Uh, when it comes to Docker Hub, I just want to show you Docker Hub, how it look like. This is how it look like. You just need to register with sign up with a Docker Hub. So once you do the sign up, you will get a screen where you can see your, if you see this repository here, if you see repositories, right, you can see the multiple repository whatever you have saved here, and you can definitely view whatever the your existing repository here. Okay, example I just taken CentOS is one of the official. So one more thing, very important thing, Docker Hub is open source. Everyone can use this. Okay, but you need to ensure that, because I have seen some people, if you see that, if you see the Docker official images, that means it will not have any virus something. Because if you see CentOS, if you do not see Docker official images, if you see some other people would have pasted, some example company ABC company would have pasted the CentOS image, because they would have definitely do some kind of fraud sometimes. Okay, not all the times. Sometimes they would have some kind of virus they would have kept in a Docker file, and they would have created an image. So if we use this CentOS, okay, as a, if you have a virus and if you use this CentOS in in our production environment, that gives a lot of problems. So anyway, we will have a security tool will have in the place. But thing is, I'm just telling you, you always need to prefer to do this official is a term which you need to see. This official will give you this Docker Hub is personally verified this image. It is 100% good, and it do not contain any kind of virus or any kind of issues. You can use this. They are officially mentioning. That's why I'm telling you. This is a small interview questions they will ask you. What kind of images I can confidently I can download from the Docker Hub. You can say that whenever you see these official images, you can directly download, because that will not give any kind of troubles or any kind of virus to you. Okay. And when I go to next important slide, so because every slide is important, I am saying that every slide is important, of course, because everything is important. Okay. So you would have listened this container orchestration engine, because COE is a very, very important terminology in current market. So if you see, most of the people are looking for the COE experts. Okay, when I say COE, container orchestration engine. Okay, think you have in your environment, if you have a 10 containers, example I'm telling, if you have a 10 containers in your environment. Okay, you want to understand. Okay, you want to you want to see that, you want to manage the 10 containers. That is very much easy. Okay, you can view 10 containers, you can manually maintain 10 containers. That will be very much easy. Okay, think you have 10,000 containers in your environment. There are, see, if you see this Google, I heard this 2 lakh containers they are maintaining. Okay, it's very difficult to maintain. Even if you go more than 100 containers. Okay, so we need to keep multiple resources, human resources like employees. Each employee should take care of 10 containers. Do you think that is practically possible? It is not possible, because no company will invest amount for some keeping some employees to manage the containers and watch their containers time and times. That is very difficult for us, in current environment. Okay, so what actually this container orchestration do is, if you have large and large environments, when I say the large environments, if you have many containers in your environment, you just need to do implement container orchestration engine. So when I say the container orchestration engine, what actually it will do is, okay, if you see this container orchestration is automates the deployment, management, scaling, and networking of containers. Okay, what actually it will do is, it will do the managing life cycle of containers. It will do end to end take care of containers life cycle. So it will ensure that it will do the deployment, it will do the scaling. When I say the scaling, for example, if you have a festival, I mean January, I mean example, if you say December 25th, or if you have a Christmas, and if you have Amazon application has a lot of end users will access, right? Compared to normal days, if you see any kind of festival, Sankranti or whatever it is, any kind of festival, if you see many people access the application Amazon. Normal times, example, if you see 1 lakh users, in festival times there may be a 20 lakh users. Okay, there may be 20 lakhs users. There is uh, huge change in the end users. Okay, in that scenario, in 1 lakh, I'm maintaining this 1,000 containers, or containers example, I'm telling 1,000 containers. If you think 20 lakhs users are coming and using your Amazon application, if I have a same kind of 1,000 containers, if I keep maintain the 1,000 containers same, do you think the workload will sustain? It is very difficult to handle the 20 lakh users. So in order to keep the same 20 lakh users, 20 lakh users, to handle the load of 20 lakhs users, what actually it will do is, it will do the scaling. So it will increase the containers, uh, it will increase the size of the containers from 1,000 to as per the mention which you have done in the specification file. Okay, so everything we need to specify. For example, if you increase the load, if you, for example, if you have a CPU utilization is more than 85%, and it has to increase these many containers, that will be mentioned in the file. That file will definitely do as per the specification file. It will increase the scalability will do. So these kind of work, scalability or networking or managing, when I say the managing anything, it's kind of a backup or deployment, everything can be automated. I don't need to have my employee, each and every employee will sit for this 1 lakh containers. Okay, it's very difficult for me to see 1 lakh containers. It is very uh, difficult. Okay, so when I say this when I say this container, I hope you understand the container orchestration engine. Okay, so when I say the container orchestration engine, simply you just need to understand this automates. I don't need to put manual efforts, I don't need to do manually checking or manually doing any kind of a task. It will do automate the all the process of these containers. Okay, that is called container orchestration engine. Okay, so container can be used any kind of environment wherever you use the containers. That's what it is telling. See, it is not only for a Docker containers. Container orchestration is engine is for, I already told you, containers is not only from the Docker company, it from the Linux, it from different customers. Okay, it may be different customers. You just need to understand multiple customers has their own containers, Meso, or if you see Oracle, and there are not many companies their own containers. Okay, if you want to maintain those containers, you need to have your container orchestration engine in the place. Okay, what is a container orchestration used for? So what exactly used for in the sense availability. So I will make my containers available to the customer, because containers, I already told you, containers will have, I'm just repeating why this is very important. Container will have my application, okay, plus its dependencies. When I say dependencies, where which whatever the place which I am going, I can run my uh, application any place. Okay, maybe development, testing, whatever it is. So I don't need to worry about the portability issues. So I can make high level, because if you are designing your application, or if you are providing any solution to the customer, the main concept of application availability is a very important. You need to have your application availability. uh, you have to take care of your application availability. That's the most important thing. You just need to provide to the customer. So as per the SLA, okay, you just need to inform the client. Okay, there is a SLA agreement with the client, right? So your company and the client, there you mention that I will ensure that your application is 99.99% availability always. Okay, that gives a lot of confidence to the client. Okay, this company providing my high availability. How you can achieve this high availability? When I say this, COE implemented. COE in the sense, see, many companies will follow COE in the sense, in normal companies terminology, center of excellency. That's a team. Okay, people don't get confused with that. That is a team. This is a container orchestration engine. This is separate, that is separate. Okay, so allocation of resources, resource allocation can be done using this container orchestration. So scaling, I already told you, everything, load balancing, monitoring, and interaction between the containers securely. Okay, I have multiple containers. I have a container 1, I have a container 2, I have a container 1000. So if I want to interact with each other securely, okay, that's most important. Because if you are using containers, okay, you should also have security in the place. If you don't have a security, even if it is a very big achievement, even if you do the automate, if you don't have a security, no one will follow these containers. This is not required for any client if you don't have a security. Okay, so until unless your environment is so secure, because if you see HIPAA is a one of the best healthcare certificate. They very important in terms of data privacy. If you feel that, if they feel even 0.001%, if you fail in the providing HIPAA failure, the project will go back and they do the penalty for the customer. Okay, that is very important. You just need to understand. Always security is most important thing, you just need to understand. So by using this container orchestration engine, okay, this gives lot of in lot of automation in the, when I say the automation, what exactly it will do: availability, allocation, scaling, and removing also. When I say this, once I'm done with the festival, and if I feel that everything is fine, and I want to reduce my containers. I want to make the containers is as 1,000 customers instead of 10,000 customers. I want to reduce. You can always do that by using this COE, container orchestration engine. Okay, so I can maintain the load balancing and traffic routing. So, for example, if you have your load, for example, I hope you know the load balancing concept, right? When I say the load balancing, this is a load balancing. Whenever the end user, for example, Amazon, example, you take an Amazon application will have a external load balancer. So this is the external load balancer. Okay, this is the end user. This end user will access the external load balancer. This load balancer will have a backend containers. Okay, think this is a container 1, this is a container 2, container 3. Okay, so container 1, container 2, container 3 will have a same application. So it has a same application. So because to maintain your application high availability, we will have a load balancing concept. So load balancing is mainly for high availability. So that is very important. If you see this, see, when customer is coming to you, he will expect more in terms of availability. That's the important thing. And security, that's most important thing. That is, if you provide a security and cost, and also he should expect you to provide. Whenever you design a solutions to the customer, you should always keep in mind, is the solution which I am providing is secure or not. That is a first and foremost thing. And second thing is how I am giving high availability. So what kind of services I'm using to ensure this high availability, and am I doing some kind of a benefit to the customer in terms of cost. So how can I reduce my cost? Okay, so if you provide, this is a very foundation, very basic things you have to keep in mind whenever you do some kind of implementation or any kind of solution in terms of client executions. Okay, any kind of solution, that's why I'm just telling you load balancing is, I just want to tell you what is this load balancer will give you an information. Okay, I just told you what is the use of load balancer. Yeah, I think you will all get this PPT. It's not in the PDF format. It's in the PPT. You will get it. Okay. So in the market, if you see, okay, lot many. See, it's not only Kubernetes. There are a lot many people. They are providing their orchestration tools. Okay, each company, this again, okay, each company has their own orchestration tools. Okay, if you have market you have a Kubernetes, Docker Swarm, and Apache Meso. And see, again you have to understand here. Okay, so I hope you would have know this, right, that we have a cloud is a concept which you have in the market. Azure, Google, and Amazon is one of the cloud. What they are doing is they have also their own container orchestration tools separately. Okay, so that's you have to understand. So because we have a many in the market, but Kubernetes is capturing much market in the current okay environment. So if you know the Kubernetes, you can handle any kind of stuff. That's a high priority. If you see in the Google or wherever it is, the market of Kubernetes, current market is, if you see, it is capturing lot of okay, lot of market, lot, okay, because people are migrating. So whatever the workloads they have in on premises, and they are migrating to, even it is a cloud, we should know Kubernetes end to end. If you know the Kubernetes, and if you have some knowledge in cloud, you can easily migrate. Sometimes they will ask you to migrate a Kubernetes directly, not into the cloud. For that, you just need to understand, okay, what is this container orchestration tool, what is the Kubernetes. So this is also we need to understand how does container orchestration work. Okay, when you use a container orchestration tool like a Kubernetes or Docker Swarm, you just need to have, I already told you, you whatever the configurations, whatever the thing you have to perform, whatever the action you want to perform, you need to inform the Kubernetes in the form of, this is very important, configuration of your application, the AML. Okay, so you need to know some file called AML. Okay, yet another markup language. AML in the sense yet another markup language. If you know this HTML, right, hypertext markup language, the same way you have yet another markup language. This is simple, it is not that complicated, it's a very simple step-by-step thing. If you do practice for some days, you will get the understanding how it has to be written in the AML. Okay, that's most important thing. Whatever the action you want to perform, you need, this is one of the interview question they will ask you, how this Kubernetes will understand what it is want to perform. Okay, based on the scripting, AML script. Because nowadays people need to know AML script, you just need to understand the AML script. And also you can also perform whatever you do in the AML, you can also perform in the graphical user interface. Okay, you just need to understand how it is working. Okay. Okay. One question from Pratim. I'm doing my course in big data. Docker required in it. So see, if you know this Docker and Kubernetes, okay, th that will be some advantage. Okay, because if you see the big data, many people, if you use the big data, you have this, right? So when you have a large data, most of the people will convert their data into the Kubernetes, Azure Kubernetes. They will keep their applications in, it may be in Azure Kubernetes services, or it may be in EKS, because I have seen one of the project, they have a big data because they have a IoT devices in my current project. Okay, their IoT devices collect the data and send to this big data Hadoop tools. Okay, what they will do is they do the analysis, and they send the data analysis data to the Azure Kubernetes services, AKS. If you know this Kubernetes, that gives very good benefit rather than the people who don't know about Kubernetes and Docker. Definitely it gives a advantage to you, whoever asked the question. Okay, it will be advantage for you. It gives a weightage to your resume. Okay, when it comes to this, I already covered this. Okay, let me. So Kubernetes, okay, the name Kubernetes originated from the Greek. See, this is very basic level I'm giving you. What is a Kubernetes? When you say this Kubernetes, it is actually designed from the Google. Okay, Google is the company who provide the concept, who brought the concept of this Kubernetes. They are the one, actually, whenever they do some kind of a testing in their environment, they found this, they brought this concept of in their environment, and what they have done is they have given this this Kubernetes concept to, they donated, actually. When I say this, they are the one who find this concept. Later they donated this to CNCF, Cloud Native Computing Foundation. Okay, if you want to write this any kind of a Kubernetes certified Kubernetes administrator, okay, this is the one, this is the organization who conduct the exam for the certified Kubernetes administrator. Okay, and also one of the important question is it written in the Go language. Okay, you don't need to worry about Go language. You don't need even know too much into the Go language. If you know the concept wise what is a Kubernetes and what are the concepts you have in the Kubernetes, if you are strong enough in the Kubernetes, I'm damn sure next 5 years you will be, and if you see that, I can see many people are freshers. Okay, if you see 1 or 2 years or 3 years experience, or if you are fresher, if you know Kubernetes, this is a hot topic in the hot job in the current market. If you know this Kubernetes, and if you say that I know Kubernetes and Docker, they will take you like, because there is no people outside, there is no exact as per the requirement, there is no people in the market. If you capture this and if you start learning, but it is not that much easy, I'm honestly telling you, just need to put some hard work. Even whatever, without hard work you will not get anything. You just need to put some kind of a hard work, understand, and logically you need to think about, and if you have some kind of practice, that will give you lot of salary will be high level, it will be salary. Okay, and the basic level definition, you see, Kubernetes is an open source. Okay, I'm just mentioning here, Kubernetes is a open source container management tool. So I don't need to pay anything for this, which automates the see, this is same like scaling, container load balancing. So whatever I told you in the COE, this is a one of the tool of COE. So Kubernetes, I already told you, Kubernetes is one of the tool in the COE. Okay, another thing you need to understand, what is a Kubernetes architecture, very basic level. So in you see in the real time, you have your master node, and you have a multiple worker nodes, worker node 1, worker node 2. I just mentioned 3, but if you see in the real time, you have a multiple, that depends on, and also master node, you have another master node. Okay, another master node also, to maintain high availability, if you have a, if you want, for example, one of the master gone, so that's all, nothing, it's very difficult to manage the things. Okay, what is a master? Okay, if you see in the any kind of a team, okay, in the team, who is it? You have your team leader, right? You have your team leader, and you have your multiple team members. Okay, team member 1, team member 2, and team member 3. Okay, Inside the team you have 1, 2, 3. Okay, same like you think team leader one who manages the team. The same way team leader is a master node. Master node is a team lead. Okay, worker node is a team member. So whatever the member which I mentioned here, so this is a worker node. This is the one actually do the work. Okay, but if you see in the real time, normally we are the one who do the people who do the actual work, they are the team members. And when you see these team leads, managers, and I say the managers, okay, they're high level managers who just do the management. They will not do the exact work. They do management. Okay, they will tell that, okay, can you do this? Okay, T2, can you please do this? Can you do this? So that they will just give an instruction to do this, and they will ensure that team is going smooth. Okay, that gives a lot of confidence. Definitely you will have Varun is asking, will have any Docker Kubernetes related jobs as a fresher? Yes, if you have a strong knowledge, there are required, there are a lot many jobs in the market. Even if you are a fresher, if you have a good talent, that will be definitely 100% helpful for you. Because current market, they need a people. Even if you have a even if you don't have experience, the thing is, do you have a knowledge? You just need to, whatever the interview questions they are asking for, if you are able to answer those, they will take you. Okay, so I hope I'm just repeating. Master is team lead, and this is a team member. So team member will have, this is where your application sits actually. Okay, so when I say this high level, master will do instructions to each worker node. Okay, do this, do this, do this, the same way which I just gave you an example. The same way it will work on in the real time. So in the real time, if you see you have your master, I will tell you the later master components and worker components. That will, I just want to give any kind of a Kubernetes architecture, you have a cluster. So this entire thing is called as cluster. So you need to understand cluster. People in the Kubernetes, they will talk about cluster. When I say the cluster, it's a master and worker nodes. It's a combination. It's a combination of worker nodes and master node. Everything is included is called cluster. Okay. Next, I'm just going to next slide. And this is also important. In the interview questions, they will ask you, what is a managed, unmanaged Kubernetes? Managed, unmanaged. What is a managed? Anyway, it is a Kubernetes. Again, what is unmanaged, managed? Very simple. Managed Kubernetes is when third-party providers take over responsibility for some of the work necessary for the successful setup and operation of Kubernetes. That means AKS means Azure Kubernetes Services. Okay. EKS, Amazon is providing. GKS, Google is providing. What exactly? And also you have Oracle something. So a lot many clouds, they have their own orchestrations. Okay. What these people will do is, okay, Ram, you don't need to worry about your master node. I will, for example, you take an example, Azure. Okay, Azure is providing Azure, Microsoft. Okay, Microsoft is telling to you, okay, boss, you forget about this master node. I will ensure that I will take care of this high availability. That means I don't need to worry about this node. When I say the node, what is the node again? You have your virtual machine here. Okay, so you have your virtual machine, another virtual machine, another virtual machine. Inside the virtual machine, I have my container is sitting. Okay, so the same way here, if you see the master component will be handled by respective cloud. For example, if I take the subscription from the Azure, what actually they will do, the Microsoft people will do is, okay, half of the, see, the third party providers take over responsibility for some of the work. When I say this, some of the work, if you see this here, some of the work, that means this work they will take care of. Microsoft will take care of. They will create a, I don't need to go and create a master node. I don't need to manage my master node. Everything taken care by Microsoft. Okay, when it comes to the worker node, I need to take care of the worker node 1, 2 and 3. I am the only responsible to handle this worker nodes. I don't need to worry about my master node. That is called managed. So in interview, they will call you, they will definitely ask you, can you let me know what is a managed and managed Kubernetes in the market? And can you just let me know what are the example? You can tell them managed Kubernetes in the sense for some of the work is necessary. The same example you can tell this. Example, Azure Kubernetes services. So some part of, when I say some part, master node will be taken care by respective cloud vendor. It may be Azure or Amazon or Kubernetes, I mean, Google Kubernetes thing. They will take care of half of the part, and rest worker node we need to take care of. Okay, that's the main definition. When I say unmanaged, you will take care of everything. Unmanaged, here there's no concept of AKS and EKS. Unmanaged is you need to take care of. So this is taken care by you and this is taken care by you. No Microsoft will come in. Entire cluster will be taken care by you only. You are the end-to-end responsible for high availability and any kind of server updates or any kind of things you just need to take care of. You don't need to, I mean, you have to take care of all the required things to maintain the high availability, or any kind of updates and patches has to be taken care by only you. That is called this is a cloud vendor. This is you have to maintain. So I hope you, it's very I'm telling you very simple basic language. I'm not using extraordinary language, and that's why I just want to the session has to be useful, because you are spending 1 hour, I am also spending 1 hour. I want you to understand whatever I'm just giving some kind of valuable information to you, because Kubernetes is you, I can say that you people are somewhat good that are lucky, and you people are thinking that you want to listen for latest technology Kubernetes. I can say that because this this has a lot of boom in the market nowadays. In the market, it is not that much aware. People are not much aware about the Kubernetes. That it is slowly coming, but people are not aware of this. Okay, so I just mentioned who are using the Kubernetes. I just taken some of the important clients. I have taken, I just want to list some of the thing. I can say that Accenture, you definitely would have heard. Many people, Dell, Deloitte, and many people, if you see this, Rackspace is one of the best company, I can say this. Lot many, you would have know this. Wipro is also using SAP, right? You see, there are, I have seen recently there is an opening in SAP. If you know the Kubernetes administrator, if you know this Kubernetes, and definitely you will get a job. SAP is a very big company. Okay, if you know the knowledge in Kubernetes and containers and Kubernetes, very basic level, if you know this in the containers, if you know the admin level Kubernetes, you will definitely get a job in SAP. VMware, this is a product. See, again I'm telling you, this is all SAP, VMware, all product based company. It's not a service based company. So those companies are providing salaries in much if you know, if you have a good skills. Okay, so I just mentioned some of the sample. This I have taken. This is not my randomly. I have not taken. As I told you, CNCF is a website is providing this slide. I just captured from the CNCF website. It is not my own creation. This is from CNCF. Even you know this HCL, right? HCL is one of the good company. HP, lot many are there. I've just mentioned some important thing. Okay, the growth of Kubernetes, yeah, in 2017, not many people know. 18, not okay. Slowly, it increasing like anything. 2020, if you comes to 2021, definitely it will be next 5 years. It will be a rock. Definitely, it will be very good future for the people who are really want to work in good salaries. So I just mentioned everything is captured from CNCF website based on the data from the CNCF website. So I just want to paste some of the thing which I have taken, just taken this recently. I mentioned as a Kubernetes in the, I think this is a Naukri, I think, okay, Naukri or Glassdoor, okay. I have taken from the Kubernetes. If you see, if you observe here, okay, how many posts here? So here you have a 440, 2070, because Bangalore has a huge, and if you see the Secunderabad or Hyderabad, Pune. So if you see this, lot many jobs are there, and you just need to understand. If you see example, see, don't believe this. I want you to go in this Kubernetes, I mean Naukri or some other site, website, job sites. You just click on jobs in current market. Okay. Can you please set screen? What do you mean by can you please set screen? I'm not understand. Can you please set screen? Okay. Sandhya, I have not understand what is said. Okay, I'm sorry. Is everyone is seeing off screen? I'm not sure. I can see that full screen. I mean zoom out. Okay. Actually, I am taking full screen only. Okay. Now let me know. Can you see this? Yeah. Thank you, Sandhya. Okay. See this, I think. See there are. I just taken from the LinkedIn. Okay. If you even now you are talking to me, right? So if you see, if you go now, okay. If you go and see that, okay, and uh, okay, yes, you are telling there are some is required experience. Freshers also there. You search for the freshers. See, if you have in the interview, if you prove yourself that I have a good amount of knowledge, definitely they will take you, because whenever we do the interview in okay, even if it's a freshers, people are considering, because by pressure itself it's very difficult to get, instead of putting some kind of a fake experiences and all, you can strictly say that this is what I have a knowledge. Okay, so after I just completed my graduation, I have this much knowledge, and I am capable of doing this much. To be honest, I'm telling, if you are a fresher, definitely you have, if you work very hard, even though he's experienced, he would have not get that kind of experience. Okay, so that's what I'm telling, you have to do lot of practice. I'm telling, for a fresher it is not that much easy to get a job, but thing is you have to work very hard. Okay, if you work very hard, if you know whatever the situation, whatever the kind of scenario, if you are able to answer those questions, you can definitely clear the interview, and they will also understand. See, one more benefit for them, what is the benefit? If you go as a fresher, they don't need to pay much as experienced. For them it is a lot of benefit, and the benefit, another benefit is they are going to get the same kind of person, same kind of knowledge person. And see, to be honest, no one is extraordinary, because Kubernetes came in recent in the market. Okay, even if you try to attend the interviews as many as, okay, you will get a lot of calls. You try to put a call, I mean in Naukri, you see how the calls will come in, then later we will see. Okay, that's why I'm telling, even as a fresher, there are openings. If you see the Kubernetes results in India, 7,000. Okay, wherever the place, or okay, whatever the company, first you join the company, get the experience, then later if you start your career as a Kubernetes admin, that gives you a lot of confidence in the future. Okay, it is not required, Anil. You don't need to have Git, Ansible, Chef, Jenkins here. You just need to understand, you need to have very very basic level Linux, very basic level Linux. You should know what is a Linux, that's all. And you should know containers and Kubernetes. If you know that, that will give you lot of confidence. Okay, lot of confidence in terms of clear the interview. Yes, Okay, yes, Chiru is asking, is this useful for the good programmers? If you have a Python skills, if you have this Kubernetes, that will be additional advantage. Okay, nowadays people are expecting admins also have, some companies expecting they should also have a Python skill. Python also very, very, very important. If you know Python, if you have a Kubernetes knowledge, that gives you lot of benefit, that give, that increase the thing. Like when I say this package, I'm working as a Linux administrator and AWS certified. Very good. I think Anil, it will be useful if you know this Python. If you already have a knowledge in Linux, that gives you a lot of confidence. Definitely, it will be helpful. Okay, how it is useful for the data science students? See, even if you know the programming, whatever the knowledge, because this Kubernetes is related to all kind of, even if you have a programming skills, if you have a data science, if you are existing programmer, that will be an additional advantage in terms of learning this Kubernetes. If you go with the I mean any kind of interview, they may, okay, that depends on the company to company. Sometimes they will ask you the programming, okay, because I don't know programming, I'm not a programmer, okay, I'm only administrator. Because when I go with the interview, definitely, even if I do the interview, I will expect, okay, people to know the Kubernetes administrator, rather than I don't need the people who is expertise in the programming, because my requirement is not that. Okay, so if you have a knowledge, that will be an added advantage. Okay, that will be added advantage. Okay, that's all. Okay, which is a better, Azure DevOps or Kubernetes or Docker only? See, each one has their own benefits, Sahil. Okay, each one has their own benefits. When I say Azure DevOps, it contains Microsoft is providing the concept of DevOps. That's their own product. They are providing their own concept, end-to-end concept. Okay, when I say this Azure DevOps is something, Azure DevOps, and also when you do this DevOps, Kubernetes is also one of the part. If you know this Azure DevOps, in between you will also get the Kubernetes and Docker. That is very, very important, because I can say many companies will have a separate team for Kubernetes and Docker. Some companies will have a mixing of DevOps and Kubernetes. Some teams will have, most of the people will have a separate, because they need to know how to manage the Kubernetes cluster. That's the most important thing, which is free to you for us to Docker or Azure or AWS. What do you mean by free, Mandira Murthy? Which is free us to Docker or Azure or AWS? So you mean to say subscription you are talking about, or practice purpose? Okay, free to use. Okay. See, even if you see Azure, you will have a 30 days, and AWS you have a 1 year. Okay. Uh, this is helpful. See, that's why I'm telling you, Rabbani. Okay, I think this is helpful for. Okay, that will be an advantage if you have a .NET or whatever the developer, Python or programmer. That if you know this Kubernetes and Docker, that gives lot of this. I mean advantage. Okay, my if you see this, you see, you just go to this requirement in the Naukri or whatever it is, that gives a lot of advantage. If you are a programmer, if you go and tell that I'm a programmer and also I have learned this Kubernetes and Docker, that is extraordinary skill set which they look for. Okay, again one more question: to which branch this course is related to, consumer or computer science? Okay, when I say this course, I can say this mainly for containers management. Okay, when I say the Kubernetes, that mainly talks about container management. That is comes in computer science. Yeah, I think someone asked me, I have a .NET framework certification. Pursuing Python will be useful. Yes, it will be. Okay. Thank you for your questions. See, again, I'm just finally repeating. If you have a programming skills, if you have a data science, if you have a big data, whatever that is, if you have an advantage, if you know the skill set of Dockers and Kubernetes, see, this is one separate area, and if you know this Kubernetes is one area, if you know this Dockers and Kubernetes, that gives a lot of advantage to you. Okay, if you know this. For Kubernetes, you have only one package that is called Certified Kubernetes Administrator, and if you have a CKA exam, if you clear the CKA, that will be very because people expecting certification. Recently came CKA, Certified Kubernetes Security, that is second stage. As a first stage, you should know this Certified Kubernetes Administrator, CKA. Okay, thank you so much for your time. I think for your questions. See, the main thing for freshers, if you have this uh, CKA certified, if you go in the market and any kind of a jobs, they will take you very easily, because I understand people, it's not all the companies we need to speak not in the falsely, but you need to speak openly. Yes, some companies will expect experience, of course, but there are some companies will expect freshers. Okay, if you prove yourself in the interview, definitely they will take you. Okay, I think I'm just ending the session. If you have any questions, you can I think you already asked some of the questions. I think we are already delayed with the time. I think we have taken 1.5 hour time. Thank you so much for your valuable time. You can always post the questions. I think you have a WhatsApp group, or I think. Okay, so thank you so much. Over to you. So you can also provide your feedback if you feel in my training, if you feel anything to be improved or anything to be taking, or if you want to give more elaborate any kind of feedback, it may be positive or negative, I would request you to provide. So you will get the feedback forms from the from the institute. Okay, thank you so much. My name is Ram. Okay, thank you so much. um,
Thank you, Ram. It was a wonderful session which we have gave. I hope lots of students would have got more details about what is Kubernetes and what is Docker, what is container orchestration, everything. Okay.
yeah, definitely
Yeah.
they will get it.
Yeah. Sure. Let me share my screen and show you what are the things we will give in
Yeah,
ERP trainings. Okay.
yeah. Thank you. Let me, I think you can share.
Hi, students. Hope everyone would have got few details about the courses. Okay. Let me give you a few things about AP trainings. What are the things that the training models we give in AP trainings? See, it's a full course and a flash course. We have two types of training models. Either in the full course, it will be done through Skype or Zoom both. The normal training model, it will be like 35 to 40 hours per day. It will be 75 minutes per day. Okay. In the flash course, it will be like a 10 hours class, like a 2 days workshop. It may be a weekend or some of the day which is convenient for you. Okay, for you and as well as the trainer. See, the course market price which is there in the AP trainings is full course for Kubernetes and Docker, which provide in the outside training center, is 35K to max, and flash course it is 15K. But what we gave in AP training, you want to learn, right? You want to know? Please reply in the chat, right? If you want to know. Yeah. The AP training price usually we gave is full course for 12K, 24K, and for the flash course it is for 9K. Okay. But many people will feel this is very high price, right? In this lockdown, in this corona situation, lots of people having lots of financial crisis, right? This seems very high, right? Please reply in the chat. But we do not give this price. We have some special offer and special discount over here. Please see that. It's like a full course. It's just 17K, and for the flash course, it is rupees 1,250 only. Is it a good price? It's a good offer. Please reply in the chat. Hi students. Do you feel this is a good price? Yeah. But some people are saying no, this is not a good price. Yeah, for those people we have some special offer. Only this offer is only for this new year and valid only for this particular 1 week offer. This is a today's grand discount offer. It's 12K for the full course and the flash course. It is 999 only. But the flash course, it is valid only for the next 1 hour. Those people who are willing to join the flash course, the next 1 hour is the timing. Okay. Let me share you the what are the things we provide in our training session. Like the special bonus, we'll give the free training interview session and the resume preparation help by our trainer and professional certificate guidance like Azure certified, AWS certified, Kubernetes certified. We'll give you the special professional training certificate guidance and lifelong community support through our forums, Facebook, and our chats, WhatsApp. You can directly call and contact us for your queries. And we have a special advantages like we can clear your queries at any time with the trainer. Then your training will be at your preferred time. Okay. The next, we will give you the recorded videos in the cloud in the lifetime whenever you want to go and see it, and you can download it and you can use it through your. We'll share you the drive and the drive link, daily day-to-day classes and day-to-day PPT notes, everything, recorded videos, everything we will keep it in your drive. Okay. And if you follow our forums on Facebook, everything, our Instagram and our Twitter, we will share you the job links. Okay. Those who are searching jobs based upon particular thing, you can go and see. You know, as a fresher, a minimum salary package, a fresher will get around 2.5. After, if he get a hike or something, he will get it mostly 30%, 20%, depends upon the company. He'll get 3.5 or 3.9 or 4.2 based upon it after 3 years or 4 years, right? But see, one of my colleague, he or she, okay, please send the contact person number to get the details. Yeah, sure, we will share you. So here we will share you those details in the end of the session. Kindly wait for another 5 to 10 minutes, okay? This will be getting over. Okay, one of my colleague, around only 4+ of years of experience. He have a DevOps and Docker Kubernetes knowledge, and now he is earning around 18.8 lakhs package, just to 4 years of experience. You can see that if you build your knowledge and your communication skill and your technical skill, everything, you will get more salary package within few years of experience. You should put some hard work and you should learn it. Okay. See here, I have showed after 10 years only you are getting 18 lakhs. But if you learn additional courses and you improve your skills, you can get it within 5 years. Okay. Let me share you the feedback link. Kindly everyone fill the feedback link. I'm sharing you in the chat. This is a payment link. Who want to join the full course or the flash course? Just see the payment link. As well as you have asked for our contact details site, let me put it in the chat. Nine 9488 7756 9. This is our Maharaj. It's an online class. It's not an offline class. You can learn it from your home, and the recorded video sessions, everything will be shared you. Okay. Please let me know if you have any other queries. Let me share you another PPT. Okay. What are the things we provide in our AP trainings? Our students guide. Okay. As per the session, we will tell you the simple learning methodology and the students recall session, and we'll be showing you the creative explanation. Yeah, Vignesh, tell me what is your doubt? You have raised an hand. Okay, no. Then we'll be sharing the fingertip materials. What are the things you are learning? Everything will be sharing you in the fingertips materials. And the additional bonuses, our simple learning methodology. This is our learning methodology. We'll give in our first session 10 minutes yesterday's class revision and the doubt clearance. Then in our second session, the 20 minutes today's class topic. And in our third session, the 15 minutes the students practice time for the today's topic. Then in our fourth session, next 15 minutes for the today's class topic. Then the 10 minutes for the students practice time. The next 5 minutes for the students recall session for the today's class with the trainer. The total 75 minutes for each day. This is the learning pyramid for our AP trainings. You need to practice it daily with our discussion. Then your knowledge, visual, everything will be there. Okay, so that you can learn it easily. See, in the normal online videos, the recorded videos will be getting from the YouTube, text, documents, everything you will get. Okay. While in e-coaching, personal trainer, it will be there in the Zoom or Skype. Collaborative training will be like discussion chats and forums. What we provide here is like a virtual classroom. We'll give you all the combination of all this. We'll be having the recorded videos, text, documents, everything. A personal trainer will be there. You can chat him through forum, discussion, everything. Okay. This everything will be provided you in the AP trainings. And daily, day-to-day classes every day will be given you in a OneNotes, so you can recall last week what you have learned. Everything you can recall it through OneNotes. Then we give you a special technique like a mind map technique. If some persons who are learning it in a theoretical manner or in practical manner also, registering or capturing image will be more effective in your mind. Okay, so we'll be showing you everything in a image manner, like a diagrammatic manner in a mind map technique. Okay, Then the more information which we give in the AP trainings is class notes with pictures and a diagrammatic flow charts, everything, and a whole training in a single notebook as a OneNote. And the materials we provide you in the AP training is the recorded videos, class notes, documents, and as well as the software. For example, if you have any software like Java, C++, what are things will we share you in the RPA, everything will be share you in the Google Drive. Okay, you can use it whenever you need it. Then the additional bonus which we provide in AP trainings is, as I told you earlier, like free interview sessions, resume preparation help, lifelong support with forum, chats, everything, and professional training guidance. This is the additional and main advantage which none other training center gave you. And also the job links. Some training centers will tell you that they will give you the job opportunity, they will give you the certificate, everything, but we are giving you the guidance for the certificate. Okay, so you can get your professional certificate by your own. This is our AP trainings features, everything. Those who are willing to join this class immediately, I have shared you the payment link, everything, and the mobile number as well. You can contact us immediately. Okay, hope everyone who are all willing to join, you can just give us a call back through WhatsApp or everything. Okay, if you want to share you the link again, I have shared you the feedback link, everyone in the chat. Please fill the feedback form. Those who are filling the feedback form only will get the certificate for today. Thank you all. Have a great day.